Yo guys, it's the kid, 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 it's the kid. Yeah, we're back, we're back, we're back, we're back. Back in here with this lovely little kind of sideways matrixy thing because I'm sure you guys like this whole thing. Shout out to your boy StreamYard, man. Yo, give me the whole thing for free, yeah, so I don't have to pay. Chill, relax. International break, we hate it, we love it, we don't really care about it, but who knows? We have to accept it. And we pretty much now know who is going to be in Euro 2020. So this, I believe, is the final international break, I believe.
Yep. Until March.
So let's just obviously first introduce the guys and then we can tell you what's happening in the show. So my name is HH. You've got your boy Nix.
Yep. In the house, of course, with my customary Brazil shirt.
Yeah. No, you're not bloody Brazilian, man. And your boy D to the E to the V to the O, Devil.
Don't know, with my customary Houston top.
So basically Twitter. So the Twitter poll is out, and just go to my Twitter page. The poll is: who do you feel is going to win Euro 2020? Who do you think will win Euro 2020? So vote for that, and I will give you the results of that about halfway through the show. What's going to be on the show? So we're going to talk about the recap of the Euro 2020 qualification. Who qualified? Who could not qualify? Blah 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 blah. Talking about different predictions as well. Then our main topic is we're actually going to try and do a dissection on Angleterre. For those people who don't speak French, Angleterre, France, England. We're going to go into detail into the England Euro 2020 team. Is Southgate the right man to get the best out of this young English players, man? Chill, relax, chill. Okay, look, I love white people. I love you guys, man. And we're also going to do a bit of transfer talk, Sancho, Haaland, another overrated hype player like João Felix as well. And a few topics.
Okay.
Versus Chelsea. And with regards to the rest of the Premier League as well, and all the Premier League title race, I will take your lovely live questions. Anything that insults me will not be read out, will be kicked out, you pricks. So let's just get right down to it, man. The recap of Euro 2020. So in a short kind of round-up sentence, any surprises? I'll come to you first, Devil. Any surprises from the Euro 2020 people who qualified? Because I believe Portugal finished in second and Ukraine came top. So what were the biggest, because obviously rather than who qualified, what were the biggest surprises for you with regards to this qualification campaign and who qualified top?
Well, firstly, big up Finland.
First. Pookie is now good. I'm putting a bet on Pookie. I'm putting a bet on Pookie.
For what?
Top scorer. Are they Euros?
Why? Why would you do that? Hasn't Pookie got like 5 goals a season, and he had 5 goals after 3 games? Don't waste your money. Listen, I'm your friend. Don't waste your money. But big up Finland. But we know they're just going to be there to make up numbers. Teams who have impressed me, Italy have looked really good. But the thing is with the qualifiers for Euros is a lot of the groups are trash. And then you get the odd group like Germany and Netherlands who are in the same group. So they had some tough competition. Northern Ireland seemed to always play well against bigger teams. And then you got the groups with your Republic of Ireland, Denmark, Switzerland, where there's not much difference between the top end team.
Liechtenstein, Devil, say it with your chest. San Marino, Liechtenstein. Say their name.
Them boys are trash. So you know who's going to get there, but you still have to look impressive against these teams because Portugal struggled against Luxembourg yesterday. Italy, I think they've got 100% record. I think it's Italy and Belgium. I think they're the only two, and I think England drew, didn't they? So I think Italy and Belgium.
Sorry, Devo. Sorry, 1 second. Is this the football dugout or is this cricket? What's going on here?
No. Look, your name got mentioned, so I just
carry on.
I just wanted to put Nix in the spot. Devil, please continue.
I think Belgium have got something like a plus 30 odd goal difference, which is ridiculous.
Who did they play? Who did they play?
That's what I'm saying. They're a bunch of nobodies.
Cyprus, Kazakhstan, San Marino.
And they beat Russia 4-1 just the other day. So these qualifiers don't really mean much. Do you know what I mean? It's once you get to the tournament how good you are. These qualifiers, you know who's going to be there. And at least Holland are back, so that's a good thing as well. But it is what it is, isn't it? No one's really impressed me because they're all playing against like part-timers.
Listen, yeah, I think Finland. You got to shout out Finland.
Yeah.
I think this is their first major tournament, so that's
Yeah.
probably I didn't.
Are you sure it's their first? I swear they've been in the Euros or something.
No, Iceland have, but not Finland.
What?
Yeah, the first one. So you look at the group. They had like Greece, Bosnia, so they would have given themselves a chance. But you still have to go out there and actually do it. And when it comes to crunch time, and you haven't been in that situation before, can you get over the line? And obviously, as you said, Timu Puki, he did the business, 2 goals in the final victory, and they went through. Obviously, there's some games that are going on right now. So, Ireland, they could go through if they beat Denmark. That would be a big achievement for them. But I think for me, there's another team, and I got my eyes very closely on them, and that's Wales. Now, Wales got to the semi-finals of the last Euros, and if they win their next game, they can qualify.
They go to the playoffs now.
Would they go for the playoffs?
I think so. Didn't they come?
Their group's not finished. They got one more game.
Yeah, but I don't think they can finish.
No, they can finish second.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, they can finish second. So I guess that maybe depending on how much points they have, they may go to the playoffs. But if they go through, it's a big achievement because, as I said, they got to the semis of the last Euros. Nobody expected that. Now, granted, Hungary is in there, Slovakia is in there, and I think is it Armenia, one of them kind of teams there. Obviously,
Croatia. That's Hungary. Why are you throwing shit at Hungary?
Croatia top the group, but for Wales to get through, I think that'll be massive for Giggs. He's been under immense pressure as the Wales manager.
Did he sleep with his brother's wife?
Yeah, that's the right one. Yes, that's right.
Cool.
And he's under immense pressure. But for me, I would love to see them get through and see what Dan James can do on the big stage.
Nicks
what? Nicks what?
Nicks, relax, please.
I thought you want me to say.
Please. Okay, so look, man. We'll obviously, go into it much more detail in Euro 20 predictions of our main discussion. But I want to talk about transfers now. And I think a name that has been branded around has been Sancho. Now, obviously, we discussed this on a previous live show here, but I didn't really get the thoughts of Nicks and Devo on this. And I'm just going to give my thoughts here. I feel that Sancho should stay at Dortmund. But if he is to leave, taking everything into account, I think Chelsea is the best move. Chelsea is the best move because he's going to... Wait.
Complicated Chelsea fan, oh yeah.
Can I land?
Complicated.
Thank you. Man, you can breathe. It's 2019.
Complicated.
Almost 2020.
Complicated.
Happy Christmas. Merry Christmas. I look at just put it very simply. Liverpool, great fit. Would work well under thingy. You're not going to get guaranteed game time because you're not going to displace that front three. United, they're fighting relegation. They're a mid-table team, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is struggling with that kind of team. You're not going to be the man that's going to change their fortunes. And what's it called? Chelsea. Look, I mean, the team's playing attacking football. So the team is playing arguably the best attacking football in the world right now. Team with money. team are an offensive juggernauts.
This is why we don't let you land. This is why we don't let you land. It's a crash landing.
Let's talk.
Abort.
Devil, sit down, man. Devil, sit down. I don't want to see your thingy.
Go get your parachute. Do not inflate your life jacket inside the aircraft.
So Sancho coming into arguably the best attacking force on the planet, I think it's just going to elevate his game. So I think Sancho at Chelsea would be a...
Devil's gone. Devil's gone. He's back.
Okay, Nicks, I'll come to you first. I didn't crack a joke there, bro. So I don't know what the hell that you're saying.
Oh God! Listen to me. Listen to me very, very well. The way that Chelsea go on about their players, their team, their youngsters, best academy, etc., etc. So where does Sancho fit into all of that? Because you got the best, the Captain America, best American player that's ever graced the planet ever. You got Hudson Odoi is the next coming of, I don't know, what, Maradona. Then you got Tammy Abraham, who's the best thing since sliced bread and should be starting ahead of Harry Kane because he scored a few goals against relegation-threatened teams. Then you got Mason Mount, who is definitely the next Lampard, whose manager happens to be Frank Lampard. Kante is the best midfielder in the world. Jorginho, well, we were all wrong. What Sarri knew best originally. And Kovacic, well, he looks like the new coming of Christ because that's a new player to what we saw last season. Where does Sancho fit into all of that?
Struggling to hear you guys here. 1 second.
Where does Sancho fit into all of that?
Sancho is a wide right player. He plays wide right.
Okay.
So it either displays Hudson Odoi.
But why? Hudson Odoi is the next Maradona. The way you look going on back. Once Hudson Odoi comes back, we're gonna challenge for this. We're gonna challenge for that.
Nick, talk to me. Don't say you lot, okay? Don't say you lot. Talk to me. Talk to your boy HH. I never said Hudson Odoi was the next big thing. I said Sancho is that flipping dude. And Hudson Odoi, with all respect to Hudson Odoi, Sancho is displacing our boy. So look, just chill. Sam Abraham, Sancho on the right, Willian on number 10, Pulisic says what's up on the left, and Loftus Cheek says what's up coming in from that in the midfield.
All right. So what he can get into the Chelsea team, who by the way don't play the best attacking football in the world. But anyway, we're not gonna delve into that.
Who plays better?
But why can he not succeed in Man United's team? Look what Rashford's doing for England whilst playing for Manchester United. Martial's back in the France reckoning, not in the squad yet, but the manager said the way he's playing, he could easily be called up for the next squad. So how's Sancho going to Man United going to be somewhat of a detriment?
Real quick, Muwada, shout out to Patreon member Muwada, he's a United fan. Would you do this? United fan, he says, take Sancho, give us show.
Listen, Hudson Odoi is a good player. So if we can't get Sancho, he says, no, I want to go Chelsea. I have no reason. I have no issue with taking Hudson Odoi. But I mean, if you had to weigh up between the two, I mean, for me, there's only one option, and it ain't.
Okay.
Your brother.
In the most objective sense, before I go to Devon, in the most objective sense, where would you advise Sancho to go?
It's a tough one. For me, it's between. I would say it's between Chelsea and Man United, definitely, because both Liverpool and Man City, you struggle to get in those teams. However, if Sane was to leave, which has been well rumored, I mean, obviously at the moment,
it's going to buy.
Yeah, then a space possibly opens up, and it's about him taking that chance, like Sterling has done in his position. But if you want to be guaranteed, first team football at a high level, between Man United and Chelsea, the only issue with Chelsea, and it may not be an issue, but if you look at the history, if they now get money, is the options or the opportunities for youth, as much as Lampard speaks about it, the fact is he's been playing the hand he's been dealt. If the money comes available and he then buys certain players in certain positions, does the youth element or the youth vision, does that go out the window because they want instant success? That's the only thing you have to weigh up. But I think for me, it's between Chelsea and Man United. It makes sense if he was to leave Borussia Dortmund.
Daryl, Sancho, what should the boy do?
Yep. Sancho, listen, I would say he should go to Chelsea. I don't think he should go to Chelsea. I think he should stay at Dortmund.
Your mic is playing up. You're sounding a bit roughly on the mic.
Bricked.
Alright, guys. Try to work this out. Is that better?
No, it's probably worse.
You sound like 800.
He's in the Matrix.
Bricknet.
Sorry. Bricknet. Is that any better, guys?
No, it's terrible.
Maybe you have to just come out and come back in, because you sound like it's raw robots, man, like completely roughly.
But how about let me ask you.
Yes. Ask me. What do you want to ask me? Ask me, man.
How much would you say Sancho's worth, or how much would you, as a Chelsea fan, be willing to, for Chelsea, how much money to depart with from their pockets?
First of all, Nick, get it right. I'm a complicated Chelsea fan. It's very important.
But a Chelsea fan nonetheless.
I'm a complicated Chelsea fan. Firstly, so let's get that right before we move on. As a complicated Chelsea fan, 62.
62.
Yeah.
He's
Max.
He's 20. He's 20 years old.
Max 66. Max 66.
He's got like 10 years.
62.
He's got another 10 years in him.
Put me in the negotiation room. I could do it for 65. Put me in the negotiation room 65. Easy.
Listen, I think, honestly, the fact that he's also English. So when a Premier League club buys anyone, it's already going to be a premium. An English player that they're buying, if he goes for less than 100 million, you've got a good deal. I'm not saying he's a £100 million worth player, but the market.
Nick, so you want Chelsea to bid $100 for Sancho?
Pepe cost 72, and he hasn't done half.
That's Arsenal's problem. That's not my problem. That's Arsenal's problem.
He hasn't done half of what Sancho's done. Sancho's done it in a stronger league, and he's done it internationally to an extent. Not done it, but he's performed internationally and done it in a stronger league. And he's English. There's no way you're getting him for less than what Pepe went for. No way.
Okay, so Devil, thoughts on Sancho? Hopefully your mic is holding up.
I don't know. You let me know. Is the mic any better or is it still shit?
It's better. It's better.
Okay, it's a bit better. It's better. Hit it, Sancho.
Is it doable? All right. Sancho, yeah, I think he should stay at Dortmund, to be honest. I think he should stay there possibly for another season or at least till next January at least. I think he still needs to learn a few things in his game. And if he does leave, it'll be for a big, big price. And with that brings a lot of pressure. I don't think he needs to leave. So I don't think he should just because he's going to be wanted. Prove yourself, keep playing, keep improving. And then when you get that big move, you never know, it might be a Madrid or, it could be someone like that. I think if you go to a Chelsea, with all these eyes on you at the moment and then in the real rebuilding process,
You froze.
No, you're frozen. Devil, are you there?
Devil, you're there, mate.
Look at me, bro. Look at me.
1, 2, he's out. He's out.
He's gone. It's over.
It's basically the main thing of my bullet side. Okay, so by the way, like I always say to people, guys, Nix is the guy who actually comes up with the timetable for this stuff. So if you hear any kind of brick-like stuff on the schedule, it's this dude that comes up with the schedule.
Sadek Rockstar said Devo is doing a Pepe. I think he must mean that it keeps going missing.
Oh. Wait. Oh, it says we will pay 90 million.
That's realistic. That's realistic.
It's chill, man. 90, just relax. 65. I can do it. 65. Just call me. Lampard, call your boy. 65 easy. Okay, Nick, I'm going to ask you a very straight question. Straight here. Is Haaland overrated? Yes or no? Because
you know what?
Every single player that gets mentioned.
Wait, let me answer the question.
Amazing. He's this. He's that.
Let me answer the question.
Like, my God in heaven, is everybody the next big thing?
Let me answer the question. In one word, yes. I'm going to say yes. Now, I'm not saying he's not going to be a great player because, there's many players out there who could go on to become great. Some players blossom very, very late. Some blossom early. And we don't know sometimes what we're going to get. He's back.
I'm back. Hopefully you can hear me.
We can hear you.
Don't know what
maybe it's the earphones. Yeah, maybe you just need to the earphones.
But the reality is, he's 18 years old. He's playing in the Austrian league. Yes, he scored 7 goals.
Stop. Can you say clearly for the audience what league he plays in?
Austrian. That's
one more time for the people in the back. Because some people in the back, they're not here. One last time, Nix, for the people in the back. What league does he play for?
Austrian league.
Carry on, Nix. Please carry on.
Yes, he is the top goal scorer at the moment in Champions League. I remember when David Healy was the top goal scorer in, I think it was a World Cup qualifying campaign across
11
all of the
goals.
groups. Like, we have to just tone it down a bit. Now, there's a lot of talk about him going to Manchester United, and I don't have an issue with that talk. But when I'm hearing the prices that are being bandied about, upwards of 60 million, you haven't done anything to warrant that, apart from be linked. Sorry, you can't score 7 goals in 4 games and your price is 60 million. I'm not having that. I'm not having that.
Yeah,
you need to be doing. Sorry, it's not enough. It's not.
You know
enough.
what the problem is. Everyone wants to be there first.
Yeah,
that's it. You don't want to wait for him to be poached by someone else.
Yeah.
So his agent's going to know that. His agent's going to say, you know what, this is the price. The club's going to say, yeah, this is the price. You either take that gamble and pay it, or you don't, and you miss out on what could be a generational talent. I think anyone who does sign him, if Man United do sign him, it would be in their best interest to sign him and loan him back. I think there's no point you signing him now and just being like, right, that's our player. Sign him, loan him back for a season, let him learn his craft a bit more, and then bring him in. As you said, he's very, very young. He was made in a lab, so he's probably got all the languages in that stored in his head. You just need to press a button. He's not real. Have you seen the way he talks?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a Universal Soldier? That's what he is. If you haven't seen that, Van Damme, Jean-Claude Van Damme, go and watch it. That's what he is. He's Universal Soldier. The guy's not real. He's made in a lab. The
thing is, I think I agree. If you are to purchase him, he's 18 years old. Send him on loan, but send him on loan to somewhere like, I wouldn't send him back to Salzburg. Send him to maybe the German league. That's probably the closest you're gonna get in Europe. That's similar to the Bundesliga. Send him to a mid-table German side. Get him better experience rather than just banging goals in the Austrian league. But in that time, especially when it comes to Man United, we still need another striker. We've got Martial and we've got Greenwood. That's our 2 strikers. Rashford is forced to play up there when Martial's injured, but he is not a number 9. So we still need another striker. So if we are to sign him and send him back on loan, then the Mandzukic deal, that then becomes a bit more realistic. An 18-month deal, 6 months for this year, 1 year next, and then Haaland comes in. Obviously, this is all hypothetical, but we definitely, if we were to sign him and send him back on loan, we have to go out and get someone else.
What about Zlatan?
But just very
yeah, no, you're right, man. You're right.
That Mandzukic deal could work out. That Mandzukic deal, because people are trying to say, if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer plays his cards right tactically, Mandzukic could do some things for United. So last bit of transfer news before we go on to our main discussion. Neymar. So Neymar has rejected a contract extension at PSG.
No surprise.
Again, these are reports that apparently he's going to play. I don't know what the feed that I saw, but I think I read something like he's willing to pay like about 70 million out of his own pocket to buy himself out of his contract in order to join Barcelona. So here's my thinking, and let me just put it out there, because I know Nick still lives in this fantasy world where Neymar is the best player in the world and everything, because obviously Nick's, obviously watches Disney movies and doesn't live in the real world. Question here, so I'm going to roll over to Devil, who I think is hopefully back from the Matrix. Do you see Neymar eventually returning back to Barcelona? And
yes.
Okay, so basically two questions. Do you see him returning back to Barcelona? If he goes back to Barcelona, how successful will he be when he goes back there?
I do see him going back there, maybe not straight away, somewhere down the line. I think there's too many rumblings for there not to be any sort of, concrete interest from both parties. I think if he does go back, he will be successful because Barcelona are successful. I don't think it will necessarily hinge on him. I think it will be because Barcelona are a successful team. I think Messi has still got a couple of years left in him. If Neymar gets out there while Messi's there, then yes, he'll be very successful. Yeah, I don't think he's got that many. What is he now? 32? I don't see Messi playing to be 35, 36.
Messi.
I don't see him playing. Yeah, I think as 34, I reckon Messi will say, you know what, I'm good.
Going back to Argentina.
I don't see him going to 35, 36, 37 and kicking ball regularly. I think Neymar goes back there and then he gets what he wants. He gets to be the main man. Once Messi's moved aside, he gets to take over those reins. So I think it makes perfect sense for him to go back to Barcelona.
Knicks.
Honestly, when it comes to Neymar, I just want him fit because Brazil can't be having Jesus taking any more penalties. That's the truth. It's pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. How can you miss the target? The whole goal
by about 2 foot either side.
And he did it. Wait, he's done it twice
you're
now.
Not Brazilian. Why do you care? Take that jersey off, man.
They call me. They don't call me a Nikinio for nothing.
I've never heard anyone call you that, but okay.
Oh, fair enough. But in all honesty, yeah, I can see. Going back to Barca, the PSG thing ain't worked out. Unless they miraculously somehow win the Champions League. Matter of fact, the sooner they win the Champions League, the quicker it'll be gone because it'll be like, all right, done my job, I'm out. So if they were to win it this year for some miraculous reason, that gives them even more leverage. Look, you called me over here, I did the job, let me go. But either way, yeah, I can't see him staying. It's not working out for one reason or next. And Barca is the easy, and I would argue probably the only way out. Because where's he? He's not going to come to England. I can't see that happening at all. And Real Madrid.
Madrid.
I can't see him going Madrid now.
Yeah, they got Hazard.
Wait. Why not now though? Why not now? Why?
They got Hazard. They got the new Neymar, Rodrigo, and
and
they can't get rid of Bale.
No, but did you hear what Bill said? Because Bill said that he's more excited playing for Wales than he does for Real Madrid.
That's because he plays.
He's talking his way out. He's talking his way out of it.
But who's spending?
We've heard this all before.
Who's giving him 600K a week?
You know what I mean? Even the Chinese, he couldn't get that move done over to China.
Happiness is more than just cash, bro.
That comment up from General Crew.
Was it?
Put a comment on the screen from General Crew.
Legendary diver.
Listen, like Mane. If I have to win the penalty, I will do it again.
Relax, man.
I will do it again.
Don't disrespect my Nigerian brother, El Dio. Don't disrespect my Nigerian brother, El Dio. Time for our main discussion topic now. So, because there are guys. Obviously, we've got two hardcore supporters. One supporter of United, one supporter of Arsenal. I'm just a very complicated fan that tries to write. Hey, let me land. I'm just a guy from the street just trying to live. So based upon that, just being able to know, it's very good for. It would be very apt for us to, as we look at the Euro 2020. Let's look at England. Let's look at England. And let me just start off by saying this. And I'll see whether you guys won't agree or not. This is the best attacking talent that England have ever had. In terms of a striker, a number 10, a right-wide attacker, a left-wide attacker, is the best attacking talent that they've ever had. The defense is iffy. They don't have a central midfielder. One doesn't actually exist. So, in that sense, I think that I don't know how this could go for England, because for me, I think that the key in all this is Southgate. Does Southgate know how to utilize the talents at his disposal? Because I think there is something that exists within England that can do something at these Euros, but it will all be down to management. Because if Southgate doesn't manage this team very well, they will not be able to defeat those critical teams like a Portugal, a Spain, a France, a Belgium. Because Southgate has to understand that your defense is, it's okay. You don't have a midfield. You don't have a central midfield controller, but you do have a very dangerous attack that can cause some guys a lot of issues. So let me roll with Nick's man to set things off. But so before we go into detail discuss, Maddison, Sancho, and everything. Overall, let's look at it as a micro thing before we go micro. How well do you think England can do at these Euros, and do you feel Southgate will get the best out of the team with regards to the attacking talent?
before we go, and probably no surprise, I'm gonna have to disagree with you. I don't think this is England's best attacking talent.
Okay, what was then?
Well, anyone pick between Euro 2000 and Euro 2004.
What?
Well, Owen, Rooney.
Well, in Euro 2000, it was Shearer, Owen, Scholes, McManaman, Gerrard, Beckham.
McManaman.
Yes, McManaman.
Don't sleep on McManaman.
Yes,
McManaman was a
McManaman.
baller.
And in Euro 2004, it was Rooney, Owen, Joe Cole, one of the most talented players to come out of England, Lampard, Gerrard, Scholes, and Beckham. Like, listen, England have had talent.
No, remember, I said attacking.
So Gerrard, Lampard, and Scholes aren't attacking. The question again, like you put towards Southgate, is a question that should be posed to Ericsson. How do you get the best out of them? He didn't get the best out of Scholes, Gerrard, Lampard.
No, because those guys were.
For me, Lampard should have been dropped. Lampard should have been dropped. Lampard should have been dropped. Lampard should have been dropped.
Those guys flopped.
Lampard should have been dropped. Lampard needs Essien and Makelele, those kind of players around him. He should have been dropped. If Gerrard should have had Scholes beside him with Hargreaves behind, and Beckham, Joe Cole, Dyer, whoever on the other left. With what's it called?
We're digressing here. We're digressing.
I'm just saying. I don't think this is. I think we're getting a bit too excited because I don't know. I think we're just getting a bit too excited. The England side,
you know what?
they've got talent, but I've seen better. I've seen better. So
it's because they're young. That's why.
They could potentially.
Their potential, yes. I think that's where people are coming from. I think people are saying this is the best group of attacking players because we're thinking this could go on for the next 10, 12 years with this group. I think that's where people are coming from. But I agree with you in terms of the attacking talent. What we had before, which wasn't utilized properly, we had some real class players,
and they were in like they were around there. You know, their prime, their pomp. That was it. Golden generation.
Basically, for me. When I look at
these guys are babies.
But still, what I look at, even if I've been very critical of Rashford, even when I look at what Rashford can do, what Sancho has done for Dortmund, what Sterling, my gosh, Sterling's last 2 seasons completely obliterates what the hell David Beckham, McManaman, or any of those guys.
Rooney?
Yes.
No.
Guys, please.
Is Sancho?
How many World Cup goals did
we're talking about Euros
more than Sterling? Is Sancho better, more talented than Joe Cole?
No.
But so these are the talent that England have had. So the main question is what you put. Can Southgate get the...
Wait, but Nick, let me be very clear here. Joe Cole was the most talented player that England had. Facts.
I don't know about that because Gaza as well, but he's up there. Joe Cole's up there
at the time.
Okay. Yeah, I'd agree. So I think
he was misused.
Yeah. And so I'm not gonna, as I said, I'm not gonna go England. It's the greatest, the best attack they've ever had. And it's not just you saying it. To be fair, so I'm not even jumping on your case, but obviously because it's England and they always, when it comes to the time for a tournament, everyone gets up for it, gets excited. I'm just like, these players are young, so they may have a banging game, first game, and they may drop off the next game because they are young. I don't know how the Croatia defeat is going to affect them when they get to another crucial moment in the Euros, because some of the ex-players say they were scarred by previous tournaments because it's like every time we get, they've got the penalty shootouts, we lose. Get the penalty shootouts, we lose. We don't know in it. But what I would say, the attack is definitely England's strength, by far their strength. And I think, how Southgate gets the best out of them is going to determine how well England do, because there's a lot of nations with, this is why England can do well. I think there's a lot of nations who have got massive vulnerabilities. Other than I'm gonna say other than maybe Belgium and France, everyone has for me striking weaknesses.
Portugal,
Within
weakness.
Well, Portugal for me, they're just very methodical. They're not gonna. They will be strong at the back and they can nick a goal. But because they rely so heavily on Ronaldo, if you do take
Bernardo Silva and your João Felix coming in through Bruno, I mean,
listen, they still rely on Ronaldo.
They do. So if
rely on Ronaldo,
if you can get a goal early against them, or get the first goal against them, I think they're very much beatable. France and Belgium, I think they can score against you anytime. Whether you get the first goal, whether you get the second. So I think those two are the ones to watch out. But the likes of Spain, the likes of Germany, Holland, and Portugal, they're not as strong as they have been in the years that I'm talking about, the 2000s when England had better squads, or 2004. So it gives this England side a chance that, their attack can carry their defense. How far they can carry them, I think that's a tough one. It's a tough one.
See, I think England should go into this tournament confident. I said before the World Cup, there was no real expectations in the World Cup. It was a young squad they took there. And what they should have been doing is using that World Cup for experience to now go into Euro 2020, thinking we can really do some damage in this tournament. They did well in the World Cup, and so they should take that forward and say, right, we've learned from this big tournament experience. We should be able to go to 2020 and really make a run for the trophy. But having said that, I think that's the mentality they should be having going into this. I think there's no reason. You have players who have played in the biggest games. You look at the Liverpool contingent, the Tottenham contingent, Man City. These players have played in the biggest games in world football, Champions League final and whatnot. That experience is valuable, and they should be able to take that into this tournament. Now, the big question is, has Southgate got it in his locker to make the right decisions, to do the right tactics in the big games against the likes of France, who obviously are World Cup champions, so they know what it takes, against the likes of Portugal, they're reigning European champions, if I'm not mistaken, so they know what it takes. Half the Spain squad have won everything there is to win at club level. So, do you know what I mean? So, you have to think: has he got it in his locker to
not play Declan Rice?
But I mean, going back to what you're saying, the attacking options are insane for England. I mean, if they get it right, Kane's banging goals for England, Sterling's banging goals, Rashford's banging goals, Sancho is a quality player, Maddison, Mount, these are talented players who can do damage. But then at the other side, the other end of the pitch, you worry. I mean, Chilwell and Trent are great going forward, not necessarily brilliant defensively. And then that leaves you with a centre-back pair and Hugh Maguire. We still don't know who his best defensive partner is. And the goalkeeper situation isn't great either, which often gets overlooked. But they should be confident. A lot depends on the draw they're going to get, and it's usually favourable. But in terms of the teams who I think who really, really going to go there and be tough to beat, France. Although France struggled in the group against Turkey, they just about won that group. Turkey gave them problems. Spain look good. Spain have they've got that tidy midfield back. Ruiz, Saul, Rodri. There's a lot of players in there who look very good again. The only problem is the top end of the pitch. They're still playing Morata.
That's the thing. You know what's the thing with Spain? Like, no disrespect. They win the Euros, they win the World Cup, and they win the Euros again. You can't begrudge that, whatever you want to say. But
it's a different era, man.
No. But they pass, and then they had David Villa and Torres.
Yeah.
Now they pass, and as you said, they got Morata and they're calling that man like Adama Traore. I'm not saying he ain't a good player, but the standards have dropped in it. Like, back then, Fabregas was struggling to get in the team. David Silva and and Juan Mata were signed men to the main course. So it's just like they can pass, but even that Spain team, which similar to the Barcelona team of the time, they had a killer up front. Morata's not a killer. If you cross the ball, put on a sixpence, you can head it in. But
so I think that's where they're going to get let down. But I think France, because front to back, solid.
All it's not happening for Morata. Wait, let's just hit this super chat here. Super chat here from Dean Classic. He says, as a forward, do you want Bex or Robin on your team?
See, now, which kind of forward are you?
Oh,
Because if you're a forward,
that's simple. Bex. If you're a forward, you want to punch Robin in the face.
But this is what I was going to say. If you're a forward who lives off of crosses, then yeah, you want Bex. But if you're a forward who wants to, I don't know, get in behind and have through balls play through to you, then
Devil, Robin is the most. That's why I love him. He's the most selfish player of all time.
Yeah.
But again, he's not passing.
But again, Robin won a lot of trophies, and a lot of those trophies he won with winning goals and stuff like that. So, do you want to win or do you?
No. I love. That's why I love Robin so much, because he was such a greedy prick. But if you're a striker or you're a forward, you despise Robin because he's not passing you the ball. So it's simple. Bex is
that's why Van Nistelrooy hated Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Because he never passed.
Okay, so with regards to, let's say, your Southgate, and so obviously I expect that it's going to be 4-2-3-1. But with regards to the front four, so the wide left, wide right, number 10, and the striker, or if you say 4-3-3. So basically, tell me the formation that you'd play, and tell me what the front line would be. Devil.
Right, I'd go with 4-2-3-1. Just because you want to try and get your best players on the pitch, the most dangerous players on the pitch. Your midfield isn't great, so there's no point in you trying to load that up. I would have, obviously, Kane up top. That he picks himself.
Why are you making a face? Why are you making a face?
Because this guy, Harry Kane, is scoring goals for fun for England. He's gonna be England's top goal scorer in about 2 years. Yeah. It took Rooney his whole career.
Carry.
So I think Kane up top. Rashford has to start on the left. I'll therefore put Sterling on the right. And for me, it's got to be, as much as I love Jadon Sancho, I think it has to be either Mount or Maddison on their current form at 10. I think they both have that creativity to unlock defenses. They've both got an eye for goal. I think behind them, as much as I don't like Jordan Henderson, I think he does a great job for England. I think he does do a great job for England when he's not asked to do too much. I think that's the problem. Sometimes he's asked to do too much, and it shows that he's got a lack of technicality. Sometimes you just need someone in there who's going to, the water carrier is the name that they call it. The water carrier is just going to take the ball and give it to someone creative. Take the ball, give it to someone else. That's what Jordan Henderson is best at. The problem England have is that defensive midfielder, because Declan Rice isn't great. He's been forced into a situation way before he's mature enough to be there. Eric Dyer's trash. Who else have they got that could play sitting man there? Harry Winks has been doing it. Winks has been doing it, and he's looked good. But that's when England have possession. It's when you need someone to win possession back. That's where England struggle.
Winks. This man said Winks.
Well, I was answering his question, isn't it?
Look, he's looked good in an England shirt. He's played very well in an England shirt.
Formation.
Sorry, who was that guy who said Rashford? Who's laughing at starting Rashford? Listen, it's funny because I said this on the show when he was going through the bad patch.
What's Rashford? What, the English Mbappe or something?
Listen. I've never called him that. So don't bring. As you said, talk to me. Talk to me. No, I didn't. Do I look like Terry to you?
Actually, yeah. If you shades darker, more hair.
Even when Rashford was going through his bad spell at the beginning of the season, or at the beginning of this season, I was still saying when he plays for England, he always performs. So forget that man. You're not saying forget it, but you can put that to one side. He always performs, and now he's back on form. He's still performing. So having Rashford in the team for me is a non-argument. Of course, it is. Especially Sancho hasn't staked his claim for the England position first because he hasn't done more for England than Rashford has, and Sancho's not even playing good for Dortmund if he's playing at all. So who else are you going to put? Hudson-Odoi? I don't understand where that argument coming from is It's pure hatred. It's actually pure hatred.
Well, can I ask you guys? Wait, but very quickly, can I just ask you guys something? So Rashford's strongest position is in striker. It's wide left,
100%.
Inside forward. Yeah, I believe so.
I don't know why you're making it, but yeah. Anyway, I would agree with the front three. For me, it has to be Maddison. Like I like Mount, but Mount reminds me of
He needs Tammy.
Well, it reminds me of a Lampard, where he will, more support striker than attacking playmaker. And I think what England need at number 10 is a playmaker, because you're going to have the two in the defense in the defensive midfield, whose real job is just to clean up and give it to the more creative players. And I feel that Maddison is more creative. He will find the pass into the wingers and into Kane that much more. Mount is probably more likely to get you a goal, but when you got Rashford, Sterling, and Kane, I think it's the creation of the chances more than the getting the goals that I would want from my number 10. So I'd have the only way I'd have Mount is if you're gonna go. Who was your other midfielder? You had Henderson.
Henderson and probably Winks.
See, yeah, if the only way I have Mount is if I went with like a Henderson and an Ox, where you can have both Ox and Mount supporting the front men. But I wouldn't necessarily have Ox starting.
That's a very offensive team.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have it. I wouldn't have that. I would have Maddison in that number 10 row. But yeah, I think if England can get, I don't understand why Southgate's not playing Maddison, because I think not that Mount's having a bad season, but I do feel Maddison's been slightly better. I think it's the fact that he's not playing for less. That he's playing for Leicester. I don't know.
I do think there's still a big club bias in the England camp, still to this day. Even though you do get some players called up from the small, they don't get the same opportunities as the players at the big clubs. I think that's still it's still obvious to this day.
Because I think it is just obvious that because Mount has played well, but he's sort of been up and down in the last few games. But I just think like Maddison, he's been critical to Leicester City doing really well. I just think for that number 10 position, he did Maddison. And I think the key thing though is that I feel that Mount has a really good understanding with Tammy Abraham. And I think that he really needs him. But when it's now him working with a Kane or someone else, I don't think that you really see him at his best. And remember as well, the speed with which Chelsea play is much more fast and much more frenetic than the speed with which England play. So I just think that it would be better to put Maddison in there. Because I feel, maybe I'm wrong, but I just feel like if Maddison probably has I think there's more what's adaptability. I think Maddison can adapt his game a lot more better than I think Mount can. Mount, right there.
Yeah, no, I was just going to make a point about big club bias, and you mentioned Tammy Abraham. Like, don't for a second tell me that I don't think that Tammy Abraham doesn't deserve his chance. But you got Callum Wilson, who's banged goals in the Premier League for the best part of 3 years. And look how long it took him to get a chance for England. Tammy Abraham, did he get a cap while he was at Villa?
No, I don't think so. I don't think he got a cap.
As soon as he came back to Chelsea, look, you're in the England squad.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It took Callum Wilson 3 seasons, and he was banging goals
in the Premier League.
Injury, so he missed a lot of time through that. But it just goes to show the big club bias. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Another area for England is, who do they start at right back? Because I know Trent is a brilliant right back, and going forward he offers you a lot. But Southgate has often picked Trippier ahead of him. I would go with
Trippier.
Yeah, it's not as clear cut.
As you said, England's defense is their biggest issue. So I think you want the strongest defenders in that defense.
Bissaka then.
Well, yeah, that's another
but he can't he's not even getting in the squad.
Yeah, he's not getting in the squad, and I think Trippier is better going forward. So I think Trippier offers both front and back. Wan-Bissaka's much more defensive than he is attacking, and Trent is much more attacking than he's defensive. I think Trippier has a better balance than the both of them. If you got someone like Reece James, who's actually, if he plays the whole season, then you could argue him. But I think for me, he's done his due. He's done his time to say, I deserve this spot. I think he was harshly criticised by Spurs fans who were begging for Trippier to come in for Walker. and the moment that he has a bad few months, he's we need to get rid. Well, now look what you got now.
No. He's pretty well for Atletico. He's doing pretty well. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you can't be a bad defender and play for Atletico Madrid.
Exactly. Yeah, it does. Yeah.
okay, so obviously we put out a tweets about who the pick to win Euro 2020, because now we now have that discussion like who do we think is going to win. Obviously things may change, but look, it's fun. You can just predict who feels has the best chance of lifting off that trophy, which actually doesn't look that sexy, by the way. The nation's looks better. So
Jesse Lingard at the 10.
Was it?
Sanket Rockstar says Jesse Lingard at 10.
He's a rock star. We know what rock stars do in their spare time. Stay off the drugs, kids.
Okay. Portugal. So 15% said Portugal.
Is that 1-5?
Yeah, 1-5. 19% said England. 27% said Belgium. And 40%, which is 10% less than 50. So not. Wait, what percent? Look, Mr. Mathematician, I got 90% in my maths test. I was in the 8th test. I'm an accountant. I make money on the side, man. What percentage is that? Half? A third? 2/3?
I don't know what you're asking. You said 40%.
You're talking to yourself.
You said 40%. 40% is 40%.
He's finally cracked. Right, who won the poll? Who won the poll?
Yeah, France won the poll, 40%.
2/5.
So France.
So basically, look, I look for me. Portugal may be the defending champions, but I think France are the clear favourites here. And I think insult Deschamps only once. Insult him only once. He'll just show you his World Cup medal that he won both on the pitch and off the pitch as well. And I just think like the French squad is just too flipping good. And I think that they just have the ability to win. And they just know how to turn up and win. My dream final is France against Belgium. But I will echo what was said when we had the hangout on Sunday. If Eden Hazard shows up, Belgium not sniffing this trophy. If Zad shows up, they can take this trophy home. So it depends. Do we see Hazard or do we see
this Zard guy doesn't exist. I don't know what you're
He's a figment of your imagination.
Easy. Hazard. We saw Zad, man.
Like you painted him into this larger than life person.
Devil.
Not real.
Zad, what do you do, baby?
Not real. It's like
Euro League, baby. 2Gs, baby. Assist, baby. What's up, baby? European trophy, baby. Yo.
You've lost it. You've lost your mind.
No. That's easy. Chill. Okay, yo. Knicks. Who are your favorites? Who are your let me just favorites? I'm still gonna say France, underdogs, Finland. Shout out to Pookie. Finland or Ukraine, but I'm gonna say Finland because of Pookie. Knicks. Favorites and underdogs. No, and also Italy. Shout out to Italy as well. Verratti, best midfielder in the world. Knicks, go.
Favorites. France. Dark horses. Netherlands.
Why?
Well, really? Why? Come on! Look at the talent. Look at the talent. The talent's there. The talent's there.
Who's their striker?
Memphis
Depay is doing really well this season.
A guy that really
Promes
is
doing well.
your main striker.
Promes, Babel.
Promes doing well. Yeah.
Brian Babel.
They've got some decent players, but for me, the favourites have to be France. Although I will say Deschamps tends to just get by with individual excellence rather than actual tactics. But when you got Mbappe and you got Kante and you got Pogba on form and you got Giroud, shout out Giroud's going to be top goal scorer in this tournament. By the way, I put money on that. He's going to be top goal scorer in this tournament.
It's actually going to be interesting if he's actually starting in the tournament, because, like, if he doesn't play
start.
any games for Chelsea between now and then, like, it's one thing not playing for 2 months, but to play for 2 months.
Deschamps is fiercely loyal. He's fiercely loyal.
You know what it is? Deschamps looked into his eyes one time and just got lost in there, and he's not been the same since. And he just picks him every time. He's got a crush on Giroud, I'm telling you. So France for me are the favourites. Dark horse, I'm going to say Italy. I actually think Italy have got a very strong squad. Midfield options are ridiculous. I think if they can get Immobile and Belotti chances, they will put them away.
Mancini's
a brick. Say what you will, they have a very good squad with Benedetto and Chiesa in wide positions as well. Yeah, he's a ball. He could play ball. Bro, Juventus might be a bit too big a pond for him. He's not trash at all.
This season he's been trash. This season,
but with Jorginho, Verratti, Barella, Tonali, they've got good midfield options there. I think Italy could surprise a few people.
Oh no! For me, look, because for me, we were robbed of seeing the best central midfielder in the world in 2018 when Italy decided to lose to Sweden. I just want Verratti to show people that this guy overall is that dude. Because I don't care what anyone says, he is the best central midfielder in the world. This guy is that flipping dude. So, but I think Italy, because obviously this could be similar to 06. But
does Kante not exist?
Does who? Kante.
Yeah. You forgot who he is.
Box to box. Central midfielder, CM.
He's a central midfielder.
Listen, Devil, clear the wax from your ears. Clear those wax. Use custom board.
It's Neeks. It's not Min saying it. It's Neeks.
He's a central midfielder. Who? Kante is a central midfielder.
He's a box to box.
No, box to box is his role. He's a central midfielder.
The role of CM.
You got central midfielders who might be a playmaker. They might be playmaker. Yeah, they might be an attacking, advanced playmaker. They might be a box to box. I mean, the man's a central midfielder. What is he? Defensive midfielder? Like, I don't know.
Box to box, man. I'm talking about man. What's this guy talking, man?
Wait, so what's Verratti's role?
Central midfielder.
What does that mean? What's his role?
He controls the texture of the game. Does Xavi have the same role as Kante?
No, he doesn't.
Thank you.
Wait, so you're saying Xavi and Verratti are the same? Because Verratti, I think
Xavi and Verratti exact same role.
But I think Verratti's more defensive.
Verratti plays deeper, yeah.
He's more defensive. He actually tackles. Like Xavi left that dirty work to Busquets. I ain't got time for that. Chasing man down. That ain't me.
Yeah. Verratti plays deeper than Xavi.
The main midfielder is the guy that gets things going for PSG. He's not defensive. What the hell? What?
No, but he plays deeper than what Xavi did.
Bro, I don't think you've been seeing PSG, bro. Wait, let's just keep the super chat. From Gatlock, it's not Zad, it's...
I think he's trying to say your boy is fat.
Gatlock, come on, bro. No, that was Italy, but look, man. Guys, the whole fat Zad thing, man.
Listen, it is what it is.
Sorry, I've got an explanation. We've got an explanation. Cap Levi says Verratti is a brick version of Xavi Alonso and Xavi. Fair enough.
That's rude.
Fair enough. You're right. I get that. And I understand his position now. I've got that.
Yeah. Shout out for the attack on
Titan. No.
One thing. What I'm saying is, before we move on, how
we do
was Xavi really? That's what I'm saying. How good?
Wow.
So all I'm saying.
You know this
really. Let's move on.
This international break sent you crazy, man. We need to get regular football back. You're losing your mind.
Let's move.
Don't hold your breath, Devil.
I think people, revisionist history hype.
Okay. All right. We lived it, bro.
Please. Okay, so obviously huge game this weekend, massive game on the weekend. I believe it's Man City against Chelsea. So Liverpool play Palace 3 p.m. Then 5:30 is City against Chelsea. City playing at home. So Chelsea I believe, have the best record in the Premier League. I think they've won their last five games. City, coming off a crazy game against Liverpool, have lost. The key thing is what happens in that Crystal Palace game. If Liverpool, let's say they drop points, I think that will give City and also Chelsea motivation. I think from a psychological point of view, if City go into that game 12 points behind, I think man, look at his mouth. If they go in there 12 points, then I think it's going to put a lot of pressure on City. Now, I'm not going to put out my prediction yet. Okay, Devil Nicks hashtag semis minimum. Let's ride. It's a 3.
Can I?
Devil,
Can I just ask you a question? So if Chelsea beat Man City,
yes,
and Liverpool beat Crystal Palace, will you concede the title race is over for Man City?
No.
No. Are you just saying that out of stubbornness, right? You don't actually believe what you're saying.
We are dealing with a club that have bottled this thing twice. So based on past experience, unless they are 20 points ahead by December, maybe I'll consider it.
Okay.
Because based on past experience, bro, these guys, look. So it ain't over until it's over. But Devil, to answer your question fully, if Liverpool win and City lose, it ain't looking great.
Right, but onto this game, I think it's I think it's going to be a massive test for Chelsea and Lampard to see where his team actually are. They're doing really well, but this is a massive test, and you're going into a dangerous environment because Pep is going to have them riled up after what happened in their last game. A wounded beast. Chelsea could be on the end of a bit of a spanking, but I've got a feeling Chelsea will come out of this with something. I think they can use their pace, Tammy Abraham's power up front. When you think City don't really have the centre backs that can deal with a good player. They can deal with a good player right now. So I think Abraham will be licking his lips. Pulisic is on form, Mount's on form, Willian's on form. I think Chelsea will feel confident going into this that they can nick something. A draw would be a great result. It's not often you go to the
Liverpool. A draw would be great for Liverpool.
It'd be a great result for Liverpool and for Chelsea.
And Leicester.
Yeah. So, but that's my prediction. I think it's going to be a draw. I think Man City. I don't think they're the all-conquering team they were last season. I think their lack of centre back has let them down massively, and I think they're going to drop points.
Call me crazy.
We'll drop points to Chelsea.
Yeah, I think it'll be a draw.
Call me crazy. And going into this stream, I said, I think Chelsea might get something out of this. But in the last, 30 seconds, I actually think City's going to batter them. I think they're actually going to batter them.
When I said a wounded beast.
I don't know what. I don't even know. It could have been that. Or it could have been smugginess talking about a title race and Chelsea.
Easy. No. Easy. No. So. I will not use that against me. No. It wasn't smugginess. I said we ride, we live, we breathe. That's what I said. That's what I said.
Everyone who watches Have Hope Football, you remember. It wasn't this time last year, but you remember on his channel where he was doing the big if Zard turns up, is Zard going to turn up rubbing the chin?
Yeah.
And they proceed to get battered 6-0. Like come on. Chelsea, they got beaten by Man United twice. They got beaten by Liverpool. I think they drew with Leicester. They conceded 4 to Ajax.
No, don't bring that results. Look at the league table, man. Mathematics. You're a mathematician. What does the league table say?
The point is, in these big games, I don't know if Chelsea got it. I don't know if Lampard's got it yet. He might have it soon, but I haven't seen it in the big game to say he knows how to get the win. Yeah, they can keep passing him, playing, but getting over the line is the important thing. He played well in the Super Cup. He played well in the league game against Chelsea. Against Liverpool. You know, some people say he played well in the first game against Man United, but he lost all of them. I actually, right now, just as this has been going on, I think it's a comfortable win for City. Comfortable. 3-1.
Comfortable win.
3-1.
Wow. Okay.
Bro, I mean,
I might be wrong in it. Whichever way you look at it, Liverpool won the league, so they make a difference.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna say one.
Wait. According to who has? Wait, are we in April?
Listen.
Are we in
Have up. I've seen Manchester United win 13 Premier League titles. I know a league winner when I see one, and not allegedly. I know.
They've got that Man United juju as well.
Van Dijk pulls out.
Exactly. He's pulling all these man them out.
Okay, let me ask.
He's turning into Fergie.
Let me lay this on you guys.
Injured.
What would you say? What would you say if Liverpool don't win the entire title?
I would laugh and laugh until I die.
Oh, you say Liverpool don't win the title?
Yeah, I would laugh.
Oh, listen,
and I would laugh and I would laugh.
I'm in a win-win, lose-lose situation. Like if Man City win the league, shame on Liverpool. They're not going to hear the end of it. But Man City's now matched our record for 3 in a row. If Liverpool win the league, Man City cannot lay claim to being the greatest Premier League side of all time. So I'm in a win-win and a lose-lose. But for me, it's already done.
It's done.
So I've accepted it. You know, the sooner you accept it, the easier April and May is going to be. Trust me.
Yeah, I've accepted it. I've made peace with it.
Oh, okay. So guys, last 10 minutes, send in your questions. Last 10 minutes, send in your questions. So while you send in your questions, so who are United and Arsenal playing?
I don't care.
Hey, Dev, shush, don't be like that. Don't be like that.
I don't care.
That's true. Devil, I'm gonna check just for you.
We've got Sheffield United away. That's not going to be an easy game at all.
So, do you feel that Martial and Rashford, they're enough to? Well, I think. Okay. No, wait. Okay, if Mandzukic comes, how successful do you think that transfer will be?
We can win the Europa League.
Top 4. I'm talking about. What about top 4?
I didn't think we'll get top 4 from the start of the season. So for Mandzukic to come and get us top 4, it obviously depends on the position we're in. Have Chelsea and Leicester fallen off that much that we are now within striking distance? If we're within striking distance at that stage, that means we're on the up and they're on the down, which means we've got a chance. But I think we must be 8-9 points behind. That's already too much, I think. But
I think you've left yourself too much, man.
I think Europa League is possible with. I would say we need a couple signings in January because it's just about the depth, the strength in depth to be able to play a good team on the weekend and put out a good side on a Thursday.
So Dev, do you still feel that Emery should be sacked now? Yes,
it should have been done a long time. This whole international break, we're sitting there and the man ain't been sacked. It makes no sense. What are we waiting for? We're gonna. Apparently, he's got 6 games to save his job in the run up to Christmas. In the run up to Christmas, they're gonna give him till Christmas. But if we don't pick up points throughout those 6 games, we're leaving ourselves a massive task to even get in the top 4. So, what are you counting on? Us winning Europa League? There's too many variables when it comes to winning a European trophy.
So you would sack Emery now, give Lombard the job to the end of the season, or actively trying to get a guy?
Well, the talk is they're trying to get Luis Enrique on board.
Oh no! But yeah, well, Luis Enrique,
and I'm not too sure about that either. I don't know about that either. I don't know if he'll be the right man to take us forward. Outside of the obvious when he was at Barcelona and he had Messi. What could he do with this squad? It's still very much unknown. But I guess anyone who comes in is going to be unknown. So anything's better than Emery, I suppose.
Are you looking at the questions?
Oh no! I mean, yeah. Because someone actually mentioned this. Let me just throw this in there about Poch, man. How do you think this is going to end with Poch and Spurs?
He's going to get sacked.
So
I think he will get sacked.
Okay. So
I don't think he'll walk. Because if he walks, he loses.
Payday.
No, if he walks, he loses his payday. If he resigns, he gets no payday.
No. But you're saying that he's going to get sacked.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's the only way it's going to work.
For him.
I think it will come to a point where it'll be untenable for him to stay, and Levy will have to pull the trigger. I think that's because I'm going on about how crap our season are. Tottenham are like 12th, 13th. Do you know what I mean? They had the Champions League final last season, which covered over a lot of cracks that they had, and then this season they've done nothing really. Yes, they bought Lo Celso. Yes, they bought Ndombele, but they haven't improved at all on the pitch. They've got a lot of players that are unhappy and want to leave. There's all sorts of things going on behind the scenes. I think if he stays and the results don't pick up, they will have to sack him. They will have to, because if they keep going, they'll be in a relegation battle. And it's not too long ago they were in one under just before Harry Redknapp went in there. They were in a really bad situation. They had some good players then. So it's not, the players are too good for them to go down. If you turn into a spiral and nothing is done, you'll find yourself before long. We're in November, almost in December, and they're 12th. Do you know what I mean? It's like, how many points are they away from the top 4 compared to the bottom 3? Something needs to be done.
I got a question for you.
Oh.
It's from I lost it. Oh, look, man. If Chelsea gets their ban reversed in January, do you feel Chelsea can challenge for the league if they bring in 3 quality players? Now, obviously, you think they can challenge for the league already, but do you think, where do you rank them in terms of 1, 2, 3, in terms of favourites, if they can get 3 quality players in January?
Well, the first thing is, what quality players can you get in January?
Jadon Sancho, Mandzukic, and Hala.
Haaland and Mandzukic, are you mad? No. I mean, look.
Well, maybe next year, because if they get reversed in January, you can buy players for next year.
No, I think, looking at next summer, like I said, if Chelsea gets like a quality left back, a quality.
I think you just need a centre back and a left back. I think they're stacked everywhere else.
Yeah, no, because Tomori and Zuma look good. Reece James looks bloody amazing. The midfield looks strong. The striker thing is strong. So really, you're just really looking at now people just challenging for it. But really, what's they need? A quality left back. A quality left wing back. You have that? Boom.
And I fit.
So what are you saying? Chilwell? There's talk of Chelsea being interested in Chilwell.
Someone sexy. I'm looking at like an Alexandra.
Why? Why Sandra?
Someone with some zazz.
Why didn't you have zazz?
Why not Chilwell? What's wrong with Chilwell?
No. Chilwell is cool, but I need someone with that lala. I need someone with that lala. I need some la. I'm not left thinking, man. So some la. Okay. Look. Okay. Look. You know what I want there. Okay. I'm not going to come out and say because guys man said that.
Oh, you want Marcelo?
You're laughing, man. Bro. I'll take it. I mean, like, Marcelo. I mean, look, Marcelo with James, bro. If Marcelo comes, look, man, CL, Champions League. Let's just talk, baby.
Question from. Wait 1 second. Question. Oh, go on.
No. Speaking of which, Valencia against Chelsea, huge, massive. That's what I say. But go on, carry on.
Question from RB Comps. HH Devon Neeks. If Juve get 1 world-class midfielder in Jan, can they be considered in the same conversation as Liverpool? I'm going to go there first. If that midfielder is Pogba, then I mean, I don't like to use Liverpool as a benchmark for personal bias reasons. But if that midfielder is Pogba, then you have to talk about them as one of the favourites for the Champions League if you didn't already. However, Sarri is a bum. Sarri is ruining. Sarri is ruining Juventus.
Wow. But you know what? You know what's quite funny, because people, the question was, if Juve get a world-class midfielder, Liverpool don't have a world-class midfielder.
Yeah, but they play different ways, styles, isn't it?
But I think Juve have got a ton of midfielders, and I don't think Sarri knows which ones to play. They've got so many. Pjanic, Rabiot's in there, Ramsey, Matuidi, Bentancur. They got all of these players. He doesn't know who to play. I think he just needs to select a solid midfield. Because we've seen with I'm not saying PSG are going to be favourites for the Champions League, but PSG have found a cog in Idrissa Gueye who allows the rest of the midfielders to play at their best, their strongest strengths. I think Sarri just needs to find an
excuse. Ever since the miracle at Camp Nou, don't you dare mention PSG as sniffing that flip.
That was Emery. I don't care.
That
was Emery.
Yeah.
So what about that night in Paris? That wasn't Emery.
Oh, shush.
No, all right, that wasn't. Yeah, but Idrissa Gueye went there.
Quickly, back to Sarri. I think the thing with Sarri is
Dybala. How is Dybala not first team in? The guy is a bum. Higuain is licking it. Because that's the only way that you can get in the team.
He probably thinks it's a donut.
But look, this is a process. Because remember, the system that Conte had was not that different from Allegri. So there was not that much of a sea change from Conte to Allegri. From Allegri to Sarri, it is a massive tactical, systemic change.
And it's trash. I don't care what Chelsea did last year. Sarri got lucky to both win the Europa League, and they could have and probably should have easily went out to who was Jovic's team, Frankfurt, in the semi-finals, and they only got into the top four because Arsenal, they just absolutely capitulated. The last 8 games, it's like they were on an early preseason. It was ridiculous. Chelsea, Sarri is not a great look. What did he do in Napoli? He went to Chelsea and he was out within a year.
And won the European trophy. And came third. What's the point?
No, he did a good job at Chelsea, considering.
No, considering what?
Considering that the players hated him. He did well.
No. Sarri is a very
wasn't even the manager. As far as where I
was a coach. Kepa was a manager.
Exactly. From where I was looking, Kepa was running things.
No, he did well.
No. Sarri is a good coach, man. Sorry, I just think, look, it's a process. Like for Juventus, I still don't see Champions League winners there. But one of those things, man. It's not how you start; it's how you finish.
Exactly.
So we need to, because possibly things could change dramatically once we now get into the knockout stage. Nobody ever even at the group stage who even mentioned Liverpool's name winning the Champions League.
Well, they almost didn't even get through the group.
Yeah, they had to beat Napoli in the final game.
Oh, Liverpool.
Yeah, last season.
Yeah,
they
got
struggled to get through that group. So
well.
that's what I mean. Once you get into the knockout stages, anything can happen.
Yeah. I mean, so before you throw a round off, Europa then.
We'll talk about Europa 4, man.
Ireland are losing.
Who are you looking at Europa?
Ireland are losing to Denmark.
Yeah. Oh well. That's a shame.
What did you say? About Europa?
No. As in, do you feel that either of your sides are going to lift up Europa?
Are you not going to meet us in the Europa? That's the big question.
God forbid.
The streets are saying that Chelsea have a duty to defend their title.
God forbid. Yeah. I rebuke that.
So if you don't meet us, if you don't meet us in the Europa, then yes, I think Man United will win it.
Basically, I'm saying this right now. There is no chance in hell Chelsea are sniffing that Europa, because I'm putting everything on that Valencia game. Juju, witchcraft, wizardry, everything. Yeah. There is no way. I no way in the hell. I rebuke that. No way in the hell Chelsea are sniffing that damn Europa. No way. Impossible.
We'll see. We'll see.
It's been swell. This has been another lovely thingy of Football Hangout. Remember, you can follow Nix and Devil via the Twitter handles in the description box below. Just follow them in their Twitter handles. Give them an ad. They're very, very active on Twitter. And I'm sure they... Do you guys answer questions on Twitter if people ask you questions?
Of course.
If it's not a stupid question, yeah.
There you go.
Or just laugh at them.
Follow them on Twitter. Ask them any questions you want. Ask them anything, sexual or non-sexual. They are there.
Also, please, if you're a Liverpool fan, please stop abusing me on Twitter.
If you're the Liverpool fan, stop abusing Devil. He's a very emotional child. Guys, remember to like the vid. Remember to share the vid. Remember to do all those things. Peace out. Stay true. Stay black. We're out.